of our study is to go on from the history and from some introductory statements now into the language itself. I'd like for us to, in the next few moments at least, take some time to go over and acquaint ourselves with the Greek alphabet and learn something about the vowels of the language, as well as a thing called the diphthongs. Very interesting in the Greek language. And we're going to take some time to look at these things and also give you the opportunity as you view the tape to repeat after me and, well, become familiar with pronouncing the Greek words and the letters. Now, something about what you're going to learn in this video is very different than maybe other teachers, unless you have a native speaking teacher. My pronunciation does not agree with the pronunciation of Bible schools and seminaries that you have in the Western world. I believe, if I remember correctly, that the pronunciation that is used in the Western world is an arithmetic pronunciation taken by a professor, I think, who was Swedish in nature and a very diligent student of Greek, but he developed a sound, if you will, for each of the Greek letters that are very different than what I have learned by living in Greece. So I'm going to give you the Greek sound. I'm going to give you what I learned from the Greek people, and there will be a good euphorism about what you have learned. And if you will learn them as I say them to you, it will have harmony, and it will even sound much better than what you may learn in Bible schools. And I do not mean to discredit or to be negative toward those who teach Greek or who have studied Greek in the Western world, because there is not needful for them to speak the language. They're simply using it as a tool, but our pronunciation will be very Greek. So as we now progress and see these things, I think it's going to be helpful to you. Now, in this section, this is going to allow us, first of all, to benefit and to dissect words in this coming session. We're going to, after we look at the alphabet and the vowels and the diphthongs, we're then going to begin our study on selected words. We have a number of words which we have selected that we're going to dissect and take apart and simply analyze them and see how they're put together and see what makes them so valuable as we take them apart and put them together and see how they're used. But at this time, let us go on now and look at the chart that I have, and we're going to go through the alphabet, and we're going to go through the vowels and the diphthongs. Let's move to the chart. Now what we have is the Greek alphabet, and then we're going to see the Greek vowels as well as the diphthongs. Now, we'll begin with the Greek alphabet, and as I said, the pronunciation that you're going to get is going to be a Greek pronunciation. Now, you may have heard the Greek alphabet something that sounds like this: alpha, beta, gamma, delta. But the Greek pronunciation is much different. It sounds like this as we begin our first letter. The first letter, of course, is alpha. We don't have an alpha, it is alpha. Alpha, like αυτοκίνητο. Αυτοκίνητο. I'd like for you to pronounce each of the letters after I pronounce them. And if I give you a word, even take a stab at trying to pronounce the word, if you will. Now, it may sound funny, and it may be a bit embarrassing, but the only way you're ever going to learn are through your mistakes. Let's begin the alphabet. Alpha. Alpha. Αυτοκίνητο. Αυτοκίνητο. Βήτα. Βήτα. Βέλγιο. Βέλγιο. Βήτα. Βάλο. Βάλο. Βήτα. Γάμα. Γάμα. Γάμος. Marriage. Gamos. We do not have a G in Greek. It is gamos, not gamos. Number 4, Zelta, Zelta, Zelphia, Zaphnos, Zaphne are Greek words beginning with Zelta. Also, we have no D in the Greek language, as you are taught to pronounce it in English. It is not delta, but Zelta. Zelta. Number 5, Epsilon. Epsilon. Evlogia. Evlogia. Epsilon. Number 6, Zeta. Zeta. Zito. Zitisa means I asked, I inquired. Ita. Ita. Itan means it was. Ita. Igapisa, I loved. Ita. Number 8, Theta. Theta. Theos, uncle. Theos, uncle. Thea, aunt. Thea, aunt. Theos, God. Theos. Number 9, Iota. Iota. India. India. Iota. Number 10, Kappa. Kappa. Capernaum. Kappa. 11, Lambda. Lambda. This is the L of our language. Lambda. Lamia, a city in Greece, is called or starts with Lambda. Number 12, me. Me. Maria is Mary. Meros is place. Mera is day. Me. 13, ni. Ni. Nomos, law. Nomos. Noembrios, November. Noembrios, November. 14, xi. Xi. Xeros. Xeros, sharp. Xethi, vinegar. Xi. Xero, I know. Xeris, you know. Number 15, Omicron. 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 Number 16, P. P. Pistevo, believe. Pistis, faith. P. P. 17, Oro. Oro. Orotisa, I ask. Oro. Orodos, a Greek island. Orodos. 18, Sigma. Sigma. Simenos. Sigma. Now notice, before we go further with the sigma, in the lower case, if you'll notice, it looks this way, and it also has a conventional Western-looking S, if you will. In the lower case, the letter sigma, if it is found embodied in the word, takes this form. If the sigma is found at the end of the word, then it takes this form. Very important, you can't confuse those two. 19, taf, taf, tavros, bull, taf, taf. Number 20, ypsilon, ypsilon, ypsilon. 21, phi, phi, philos, friend, philo, I kiss, phi, phi, faculos, envelope, phi. 22, he, he, he. 23, psi, psi, psyche, soul, psyche, soul. 24, omega. I am the alpha and the omega. Omega. Oro, hora, time. Now, before we move any farther, we're going to go back and look at a couple of things, and I'm going to also run through the entire Greek alphabet again and give you the pronunciation. Let's begin first with the alphabet. Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, Zeta, Eta, Theta, Iota, Kappa, Lambda, Mi, Ni, Xi, Omicron, Pi, Rho, Sigma with two variations, Taf, Epsilon, Phi, Chi, Psi, Omega. Now, as you review the tape, I encourage you to go back and to say each letter, acquainting yourself with the euphorism and the pronunciation. Now, all languages, somewhere or somehow, have vowels. This is what gives us the sound in a language, are the vowels. We have 7 vowels in Greek, as you have in English. But our vowels are a bit confusing sometimes because 5 of the 7 all sound like E. We're going to go through the alphabet again and select or pick out the vowels of the Greek language. As we go through the alphabet, the first one is alpha. Alpha. This is a vowel. Epsilon. Epsilon is a vowel. Eta. Iota. Omicron. Upsilon and omega. These are the vowels that will give you the sound of your words. Now let's move from the alphabet and the vowels down to another section which is very important in our Greek studies. These are called the diphthongs. Diphthongs. In Greek it is called diphthongos, or the plural diphthongi. These are two vowels that are put together that create one sound. For instance, we have the vowel alpha, iota. Alpha, iota. This sound is e. E. Next, we have epsilon, iota. Epsilon, iota. The sound is E. E. Omicron, iota is E. E. Epsilon, iota. Epsilon, iota is also E. Alpha, alpha epsilon is av. Av. Epsilon epsilon is ev. Notice the difference. Av, ev. Av, ev. Omicron epsilon, u. U. Now repeat these again. E, 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 E. Av, ev, u. Concludes this portion of the study. Now we'll move on to the Greek words.